How's everyone doing? My name is FeintAttacks. Look upon certain mons, we'd all love to see a Mega Evolution for that Pokemon, right? But it's safe to say all the Pokemon cannot get a Mega Evolution. If they would they be too powerful or not? Today I'm going to be going ahead and listing off a top 10 Pokemon that do not need a Mega Evolution in Pokemon Sun and Moon, but there are so many out there. That's why I have my friend Twintendo to help me out.
Hey, what is going on, Twintendo Nation? Today I'm helping out my good buddy FeintAttacks with his list. Now, we also made another Pokemon Sun and Moon video on my channel, which is the top 10 Pokemon that need a Mega Evolution in Sun and Moon. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to watch it after this video. And also remember, the Pokemon in both of our lists are purely based on our opinions alone. So there is no right or wrong answer, but let us know your list in the comments below.
So be sure to drop a like if you do going to enjoy.
But without further ado guys, let's get on with this video. Now, I've been a big fan of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon franchise for almost 10 years, and they've had some really memorable Pokemon. However, there is one Pokemon that played an important role in the Explorers games that I believe shouldn't get a Mega Evolution. This Pokemon is Dusknoir. Now don't get me wrong, Dusknoir's stats are not great for 3rd evolution Pokemon, and it is hardly usable in competitive play, but I think that if it did get a Mega Evolution, it would ruin a lot of the story from Explorers of Time, Darkness and Sky. Now I'll skip around the details since some people may still want to play those games without knowing what happens, but giving Dusknoir a Mega Evolution would have changed the whole dynamic of the game and made a certain Pokemon's actions a little meaningless. That's why I like Dusknoir just the way it is. Only those who have played the Mystery Dungeon series will really understand why this is.
Talonflame was an outstanding Pokemon when it first got introduced in Generation 6. From its fiery design to its priority Gale Wings, safe to say this Pokemon caught the attention of so many people when it came to online battles. This Pokemon has a huge stat speed. Considering Gale Wings added to this as well, it can be a huge problem for people. So if this Pokemon got a Mega Evolution and increased more stats such as speed, special attacks, etc., I feel like many people would tend to cast this Pokemon like a Mega Kangaskhan. I feel like it's not necessary for this Pokemon to gain a Mega Evolution, just on the fact that it's powerful enough, as I can see why they would consider it. There would be some absolutely amazing art for this Pokemon's Mega Evolution form. I just feel like it's not needed considered how strong this Pokemon is already.
Next on our list we have one of the most negatively received Pokemon in recent years, Vanilluxe. There isn't much to Vanilluxe as a Pokemon. It's got pretty rounded stats and a bad move pool which leave it mostly forgotten, which some may argue is a good thing. Now the only interesting thing Vanilluxe has done is raise the question, what came first, the Vanilluxe or the ice cream? All joking aside, Vanilluxe's design doesn't leave it much room for a decent Mega Evolution design, since the ice cream cone is overwhelmed with the 2 heads on top. Now if Vanilluxe did get a Mega Evolution, my fear would be that because there's not much room to build upon, it would transform from an ice cream cone to a tub of ice cream, because that's the next logical step. And let's be honest, nobody would want that.
At number 7 on this list, I decided to go ahead with Gotha Teal. I've seen countless Mega Evolution art for this Pokemon, and although its design is somewhat cool, I feel it's unnecessary for a Mega Evolution to occur for this Pokemon. Its stats already are somewhat bearable, with its highest stat being its special defense, but the real reason why I feel like it shouldn't get a Mega Evolution is just due to the simple fact that they could spend this time on a different Pokemon that needs an actual evolution or a Mega Evolution. I do like Gotha Teal, do not get me wrong, I've used this guy countless times when it comes to online battles and whatnot, but I just feel like they could spend this time, rather than put it into a Mega Evolution for a Gotha Teal, I feel like they could put it into a different Pokemon, like I said, that needs an evolution or needs a Mega Evolution, so it would not be a waste.
Coming in at number 6 is Porygon Z. Now Porygon Z is one of the strangest Pokemon we've seen, however it is also highly underrated. With a great ability, stats and move pool, Porygon Z can be a dark horse on any team in competitive plays. However, that isn't the main reason Porygon Z is on this list. The fact that it needs 2 item evolutions to reach its final form would mean it would be pretty silly if it could transform again through a Mega Evolution. Plus the fact it is a great Pokemon gives it another reason as to why it should stay away from those Mega Stones, so for that reason Porygon Z, you're not getting a Mega Evolution.
At the number 5 spot on this list we have Scum Tank, another Pokemon people got acquainted with back in the 4th generation of the Pokemon games. Now, he's one of the Pokemon I had trouble with taking on back in the early game of Diamond and Pearl. Yet, talking about his stats with a HP of 103, he's one of the Pokemon you don't really see a lot of people talking about, and I feel like the only way this guy would gain somewhat popularity is to get a Mega Evolution. On my behalf, I feel like it's absolutely not necessary at all. He's an alright Pokemon, but he really doesn't need a Mega Evolution. Sorry, buddy.
Next up at number 4 we have Arceus. Okay, this is a no-brainer really. Arguably the most powerful Pokemon ever, sorry Mewtwo, it does not need a Mega Evolution. Now I normally wouldn't even consider Pokemon such as Arceus getting a Mega Evolution, but Game Freak have made some really bad Mega Evolution choices. Mega Evolutions were meant to balance out the game for Pokemon who needed a bit more firepower, but instead they've given them out to Pokemon such as Salamence and Garchomp who don't need them. The reason I bring this up is because one of the strongest Pokemon, Rayquaza, was also given a Mega Evolution. Now that Rayquaza has a Mega Evolution, it has higher base stats than Arceus, who is considered the Pokemon God. This makes no sense! Now let's be honest, that isn't right. However, I'm sick of Game Freak giving Mega Evolutions to Pokemon who don't need it. So sorry Arceus, but you're gonna have to let this one go and let Mega Rayquaza play God for a while.
At the number 3 spot on this list is a Pokemon probably you guys want to see get a Mega Evolution, and it's Haxorus. Now do not get me wrong in the slightest, I absolutely love Haxorus, I think its design is amazing, but we already have Mega Salamence, Mega Rotaria, etc. Although I can see him having an amazing design like I say, I feel like we've seen a lot of Pokemon that can stand by on themselves, rather than having a Mega Evolution. Like I said, don't get me wrong, if he did get a Mega, I would use it, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like he can stand on his own 2 feet, thus he does not need a Mega Evolution, although it would be absolutely cool if he did, but I just feel like he really doesn't. Like I said, he can stand on his own 2 feet, he's pretty cool on himself, he can handle himself when it comes to online battles, so I think it's safe to say this guy should just stay the way he is.
Coming in at number 2 we have Pikachu.
Pikachu!
Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, don't you mean Raichu? Now personally I'd love to see a Raichu Mega Evolution, but Raichu has forever been in Pikachu's shadow. Now as we know, Pikachu is a Pokemon's mascot and does receive a lot of attention. That's why I'm slightly concerned that Pikachu will get a Mega Evolution, whilst every other Raichu will have to go to a job centre to find some other form of employment. Raichu needs the love, not Pikachu, so I'm hoping we won't see any Mega Pikachus in Pokemon Sun and Moon.
At the number 1 spot on this list and coming down to the final Pokemon is Pyro. Yes, the alpha as some would state, but does this king really need a Mega Evolution? Not really. I feel like he has the same standpoints as Scum Tank. Although his stats back him up with speed and attack, he can be pretty weak. The main reason why I feel like he doesn't need a Mega is simply due to the fact that there are 2 forms, male and female. Although they do look different, I feel like if they were to make a Mega for it, they would keep the same aspect of making the male look different to the female. Me making 2 absolute different Mega Evolutions for 2 different forms of the Pokemon, but I feel like this is something that should just be left on his throne and in his dreams, rather than dreaming of a Mega Evolution for the guy. Well guys, there you go, that was our top 10. Be sure to subscribe to both of our channels as well if you did enjoy the content. Be sure to give it a thumbs up right below as well, and make sure you do go on over to Twintendo's channel and you can see the top 10 Pokemon that need a Mega Evolution for Pokemon Sun and Moon. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching guys, my name's been FeintAttacks and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace!